trying something different here. In the past, whenever I've painted a ladder or anything, I've always had the tape go right across and I've stuck the entire ladder down. I think this time what I'm going to do is just tack the ends. It might be a little easier to release later. Well, here's what's happened. I went ahead and I sprayed primer on both sides of the ladder, and I used the gray, and then I waited for it to dry. In fact, I kind of force dried it. I used the hair dryer. I didn't wait the 24 hours like I'm supposed to. Anyway, then I went ahead and I did the dark gray on one side of the ladder, waited for it to dry, and when I was turning it over, it was sort of flipping around and I couldn't tell which was which. And you know, even I'm not sure. You know, and I'm thinking if it's that close, who cares? If I can't tell by using my microscope, who cares? Yeah, so I'm just going to fasten it on, and maybe if I'm lucky I'll have it painted side out, and if I'm not lucky I'll have it primer side out. Either way, it looks good. And then I did these other pieces here in the light gray, and also this piece here. Yeah, so let's get this stuff glued on. We're almost done with this major section. Now I would think that the best time to put this ladder on here, on the mast, is when the mast is laying down on its back like this. And then stand the mast up in place afterwards. So that's what we're going to try and do here. Now I think the ladder is supposed to start just underneath the bottom rail here. And it's going to be a little bit finicky, but I'll get it. Okay, now this thing here keeps wanting to roll back and forth on me while I'm working, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay this little piece of wood on here, and that'll hold it flat. And it's pretty light, it's not going to break that piece. Then I should be able to position this on in the right place. And then we'll put a little drop of CA glue at the bottom and a little at the top, and then just at appropriate places in the middle. Yeah. Okay, I've removed my little piece of wood. The reason being is that I just checked the book, and the book shows the top of the ladder going up to about here. Whereas the manual, it shows it stopping right where it is right now. And problem is, if I raise the ladder all the way up here so it's the same as in the book, then the bottom of the ladder would be obviously way too high for anybody to start climbing up it. Ah. It appears to me, I'm looking straight down on it, that it should be slightly to my right. But it keeps wanting to spring back. Well, let's just leave well enough alone. Okay, that'll be just fine. Yeah, I realize you can't tell from your perspective, but this is approximately the midpoint. There. Now, I usually do not like touching anything after I've painted it, especially with this flat paint, because grease on my fingertips will make the paint shiny. Well, there's a little square peg there that's got to go in a little square hole. Oops. I keep bumping these things. It's amazing I haven't broken them off. My dexterity ain't what it used to be. Now, there seems to be a bit of a tight fit in there. I'm just thinking possibly if I put a little bit of Tamiya extra thin on that hole, it might just allow it to, I don't want to be putting it on so much it's going to run all over the deck. Okay, now I think I'll fasten the top with CA glue. But I don't know if you noticed, but that thing dropped down a lot further. And I don't see any sign of, where it wicked into the paint. Now I realize it's a little bit hard to see, but there actually is CA glue in that joint. Now that is the way I'd like to have all of my joints. You can't see the glue, and yet it's fastened together. Somebody made a comment, I think it was in yesterday's episode, and he said something to the effect of, spray your model after you're all finished, and you spray it with a flat clear, and that way it covers all the shiny glue spots and you don't see them. At first I thought he was kidding, but does anybody know anything about that? Like, any of you experienced models or modelers, would you recommend, covering a model this large with a flat clear coat? I don't know. I'm kind of leery about it. Okay, F13. It's this one right here. This is the first time I've tried it on. Perfect fit. At first I was kind of disappointed that the gray that I just put on this piece did not perfectly match the gray that I'd painted the sides here. Oh, must be 2 months ago now, I guess. Yeah, but you know what? It looks okay. Sort of the slight contrast actually is beneficial, I think. If it wicks its way out onto the deck here in the back, probably won't get noticed anyway. have to be very mindful when I'm reaching over things. Like, I don't snap this off. Anyway, which way is this supposed to go now? I'll figure it out. Okay, it appears that this little piece right here is this little piece right here, and it would be going to the back. But you know what? It probably doesn't make a whole lot of difference because, you know, this whole thing rotates, right? Now this side here is not exactly a mirror image. Let's do a dry run here, make sure it's going to fit. Yeah, it looks okay. I think what I'll do is I'll just put the CA glue down on this crack. Starting to thicken on me. That's alright. Now we'll get this in there before it sets up. I'm sorry I keep getting my fingers in your way here. There we go. I probably don't need that much. Okay, the radar units, or I guess they're not radar units, but that's what they call them. They're all done, both sides. The mast is on. We just got to put these ones on. These are definitely radar. Okay, very gently now. Now I know I could leave it loose and have it so that it was sort of, it could turn, but I'm afraid that what could happen is if it was loose, I may end up knocking it off and accidentally damaging that that very delicate photo etching radar unit. Trying not to get it on the paint. Okay, it's cured. I don't think I could get it off now without breaking something. And the view from the front. Maybe I should turn this thing around. It'll be a little easier for me to work on. That was a little bit too much. Well, I can touch that up, I guess, later. Now I want to remember, I don't have all day to get this position just right. Why is that not setting? Oh, I think it's setting up now. Doesn't look straight. It's pretty good. Good thing it's pretty good. I think that's it. I don't think it's moving now. Now, how many have picked up on what just happened here now when I glued this on? Well, it's not bad news, it's good news. We have finished step 34. And when we flip the page to step 35, it has nothing to do with this anymore. Yeah, we start the next section. So that means, as near as I can tell, everything that can possibly be done to this section is done. You know, we could stick it on the on the main deck and see what it looks like. What do you think? That's what I like, enthusiasm. Okay, very carefully now. Alright, there, I think you can see the whole thing all at once, but this goes here. Now you know it's kind of amusing. When you see this section that we just built all by itself, it looks so huge. But when you see it sitting on the main hull, suddenly you realize, oh my goodness, it's not so big after all. And also it makes you realize we've got a lot more stuff yet to go. Yeah, I'll move in a little bit closer. Now it's pretty easy to get it in the right place on the deck because you can see that the deck is formed in such a way that this whole section just kind of locks right into place. Now we won't be gluing it on. I'm going to put this in some sort of a box with a see-through top so that I can see what's in it. Keep the dust off it because we likely won't be gluing it down onto this deck for quite a while. Like I mentioned, there's a lot more sections to go here. We'll be working on the funnel section next. That's step 35, and that goes right here. And then of course we got the turrets, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff yet to do. We're going to have lots of fun. While I'm here working on my model, or whatever I happen to be working on at the time at the model table, well, what else would it be, right? Anyway, I can see out my front window, and even if a squirrel or a rabbit scampers around, it's going to catch my eye, and I'm going to look up. Well, just a little while ago, I saw a delivery truck go by. And, well, it didn't go by, it stopped. Guy gets out, and he comes with a little package for me. Well, I knew what it was. I was expecting it today. I'm not going to try and act like surprise, surprise. Yeah, okay. This is what I got from Amazon. Now, I know this is going to be sort of a sucky type of thing. It's not like the Hunt for Red October, which is more in line with what we're doing here. But I've seen the Hunt for Red October twice. This I've never seen. And I like musicals, so I thought I'd get it. Amazon had it on a good price, delivered to the door. So that's what I'm going to do for later this afternoon. Get all cleaned up here, and I'm going to watch my video. Yeah, don't tell anybody I'm watching a chick movie. Well, maybe it's not a chick movie, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I know I'm going to like the music. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.